the dais with his presence. It is my privilege to invite Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation on the dais. I now invite Shri A.K. Biswas, Director General Coordination and Administration, MOSPI. I request Shri Ghansham, Additional Director General, Intra, Inter and International Coordination Unit, MOSPI, to come on the dais. Thank you, sirs. A very good morning to the distinguished guests present here for the celebration of Statistics Day 2023. Today we are gathered here to acknowledge the importance of statistics in our lives and the significant role it plays in shaping the world around us. Before starting the program, it is my request to put your phones on silent mode. Thank you for your cooperation. On behalf of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, I, Monami Mitra, along with my colleague, Ms. Deepika Verma, would help you navigate through this year's event on Statistics Day. Statistics in India has a rich history and has played a crucial role in various aspects of the country's development, policy formulation, research, and decision-making since antiquity. It is illuminating to note that statistical knowledge was attributed to the kings and rulers mentioned in the great Indian epic, the Mahabharata. Kautilya's Arthashastra, an ancient Indian exposition on governance and economics, included discussions on statistical methods for collecting and analyzing data related to population, agriculture, and trade. Statistics in India continues to evolve and adapt to emerging challenges and opportunities. The architect of modern statistical methods in the Indian subcontinent was undoubtedly Professor Prashanto Chandra Mahalanobis, a physicist by training, a statistician by instinct, and an economist by conviction. Professor P.C. Mahalanobis contributed immensely as the founder of the prestigious Indian Statistical Institute, architect of the Indian Second Five-Year Plan, and much more. His commitment to promoting data-driven decision-making led to the establishment of National Sample Survey in India in 1950. This large-scale survey played a crucial role in collecting comprehensive and reliable data on various socio-economic aspects, facilitating policy formulation and development planning. His other massive contributions include the development of the concept of Mahalanobis distance, interpenetrating subsample in the area of survey, and pioneering studies in anthropometry in India. In the words of W. Edwards Deming, "In God we trust, all others must bring data." To popularize the use of statistics in everyday life and to sensitize the public as to how statistics helps in shaping and framing policies, the Government of India has been celebrating Statistics Day on the birth anniversary of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis on 29th June in recognition of his invaluable contribution in establishing the national statistical system. The theme of this year's Statistics Day is alignment of state indicator framework with national indicator framework for monitoring Sustainable Development Goals. The national and state indicator frameworks for Sustainable Development Goals are vital tools for monitoring and evaluating progress towards achieving the SDGs at the national and subnational levels. To celebrate this day, we have with us Honorable Minister of State Independent Charge, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Minister of State Independent Charge of Ministry of Planning, and Minister of State of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Rao Inderjit Singh Ji, Professor Rajiv Lakshman Karandikar, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Shri A.K. Biswas, Director General, Coordination and Administration, MOSPI, and Shri Ghansham, Additional Director General, Intra, Inter and International Coordination Unit, MOSPI on the dais. I extend a very warm welcome to all present here and those connected through various social media platforms of MOSPI. Before proceeding with the day's program, I request Ms. Priyanka Pant to present a sapling to Honorable Minister Rao Inderjit Singh Ji. I now invite Ms. Soumya Mishra to present a sapling to Professor Rajiv Lakshman Karandikar, Chairman, National Statistical Commission. Now I request Dr. Ruchi Mishra to present a sapling to Dr. G.P. Samanta, CSI and Secretary, MOSPI. I now call upon Dr. Priyanka Anjoy to present a sapling to Shri A.K. Biswas, Director General, Coordination and Administration, MOSPI. I invite Ms. Parul Arora to present a sapling to Shri Ghansham, Additional Director General, Intra, Inter and International Coordination Unit, MOSPI. Thank you all. The lamp is often considered a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. Lighting the lamp signifies the pursuit of knowledge and the desire to dispel darkness through the light of wisdom. I would now request Honorable Minister Rao Inderjit Singh Ji, Professor Rajiv Lakshman Karandikar, Dr. G.P. Samanta, and other dignitaries present on the dais to please come forward for the lighting of lamp ceremony. Thank you, sirs. May I now request Shri A.K. Biswas, Director General, Coordination and Administration, MOSPI, to formally welcome the distinguished guests for 17th Statistics Day celebration. An officer of 1987 batch of Indian Statistical Service, Sir has been serving the Indian statistical system for around 36 years. Sir has vast experience of working in diverse fields across the country. He started his career from Directorate General of Mine Safety as Assistant Director. Sir has worked in various capacities at different offices of Field Operations Division of MOSPI, being posted at Regional Office of Kolkata and Patna, with additional charges of Zonal Office Kolkata, Regional Offices Bardhaman, Ranchi and Muzaffarpur. He was also posted at the Data Processing Division of NSS at Kolkata, with additional charge of Giridih. As Deputy Director General, Sir has worked at the Office of the Coal Controller. Shri Biswas has served as Additional Director General, Northeastern Zone of Field Operations Division of MOSPI, Director General Labour in the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Director General Statistics in MOSPI. Currently, he is spearheading a whole gamut of work related to intra, inter and international coordination, training and capacity building, computer center and administration in the ministry. Please welcome Shri A.K. Biswas sir.
Good morning to all. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, and Minister of Planning, and Minister of State, Minister of Corporate Affairs, Rao Indrajit Singh ji. Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Professor Rajiva Laxman Karandikar ji. Chief Statistician of India, Com Secretary, Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, Dr. G.P. Samanta. Member, National Statistical Commission, Sri Achit Kumar Sadhu. Director General Statistics, Mr. Kal Singh, MOSPI. Additional Secretary, MOSPI, Sri Alok Shekharji. Additional Director General of Indian Statistical Service, Sri A. Nanda Kumar, Sri Satyendra Bahadur Singh, M.S. Anupam Bhatnagar, M.S. Agita Singh Rathod, Sri P.R. Bisram, Sri Ghanesham, Sri Narendra Kumar Santoshi, Sri Subhash Chandra Mallik, and M.S. Usha Pallatpal present with us here. Esteemed speakers of the technical session, Mr. Sombi Sharf, United Nations Resident Coordinator of India, and Sri Rajesh Gupta, Director Niti Aayog. Officers of the central government, the state governments, and government of Union Territories, representatives of international organizations, winners of Won the Spot Essay Competition 2023, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to everyone on the occasion of 17th Statistics Day celebration. Today, we gather here to not only celebrate Statistics Day, but also to popularize the use of statistics, honor late Professor Prashant Chandra Mahalanovich for his remarkable contribution to the field of statistics in India. The larger scale sample survey techniques as being conducted today by MOSPI are based on the foundation of the pioneering work done by Professor Mahalanovich. Today, we celebrate 17th Statistics Day with the theme Alignment of a State Indicator Framework with National Indicator Framework for Monitoring Sustainable Development Goals. It emphasizes the importance of role of collaboration between central government, state and union governments in making available quality and timely data for monitoring SDGs. To create awareness among the youth, Ministry also organizes essay writing competition on related topics on official statistical system among the students across the country. Today, we have pleasure of honoring the winners of this competition during our event. We are truly honored to have the esteemed presence Rao Indrajit Singh ji, the Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and Ministry of Planning, and Minister of State of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Sir, we extend a warm welcome to you, sir. I also extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guest on the dais, Professor Rajiva Laxman Krandikarji, Chairman of the National Statistical Commission, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. During the technical session of this event, officers from the ministry will provide a brief presentation on the theme, followed by an address from our esteemed experts. We are truly grateful to have distinguished speakers, Mr. Shambhu Shah, hello sir, UNRC of India for India, and Sri Rajesh Gupta, Director, Niti Aayog, and officer from Social Statistical Division of MOSPI with us for the technical session. On behalf of the ministry, I extend a warm welcome to all of them. Lastly, I extend a warm welcome to all distinguished participants from the line ministries, institutions, states, and union territories, winners of essay competition, and their family members, members of the media, friends, and colleagues to this event on Statistics Day 2023. With these words on behalf of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, I once again welcome you all to Statistics Day 2023 celebration. Thank you.
Good morning to all. Thank you, sir, for the motivational words and extending a warm welcome to our eminent guest. Indeed, it has felt more enthusiasm and excitement for the event ahead. The theme for this year's Statistics Day, alignment of state indicator framework with national indicator framework for monitoring sustainable development goals, is of utmost importance, as the national and state indicator frameworks serve as a roadmap at both national and subnational levels to track their advancement and challenges in implementing the SDGs. It consists of a comprehensive set of indicators that measure various aspects of sustainable development, such as poverty eradication, quality education, gender equality, clean energy, climate action, and more. These indicators enable policymakers, researchers, and stakeholders to assess the progress made, identify gaps, and make informed decisions to accelerate achievement of the goals at both national and subnational levels. On this occasion, we have with us Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, MOSPI. From studying in an institute established by Professor P.C. Mahalanobis to becoming Secretary of a ministry, ideated by the same person, we can say that Dr. G.P. Samanta has completed a full circle in his life. Dr. Samanta did his BSc and MStat in statistics from University of Calcutta and Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata, respectively. Upon completion of his studies, he joined the Reserve Bank of India as research officer on September 1990 and eventually became director and then advisor of the Department of Statistics and Information Management, Reserve Bank of India, Mumbai. In April 2021, he became the Secretary and Chief Statistician of India, MOSPI. A prolific researcher, Sir did his PhD in economics from Department of Economics, University of Mumbai in 2002. From October 2006 to October 2007, he did his postdoctoral research as visiting scholar at the John F. Kennedy School of Government, Howard University, Cambridge, USA. In recognition of his strong and demonstrable leadership potential, he was selected for King's Chevening Gurukul Leadership Program in King's College London, UK in 2014. A proficient educator, Dr. Samanta has supervised PhD students and trained MBA students in areas like financial risk management and financial economics in Sailesh J. Mehta School of Management, IIT Bombay. He is the recipient of several national and international awards, including Manubhai M. Shah Memorial Award from the Indian Commerce Association for his outstanding research contribution in the area of business and finance for the year 2015. V.K.R.V. Rao Prize in Economics, awarded jointly by Indian Council of Social Science Research and Institute of Social and Economic Change, Bangalore, for the year 2006, and Mahalanobis Memorial Medal Award by the Indian Econometric Society for the year 2006 for his significant contribution in quantitative economics. He is the life member for the Econometric Society, Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, Indian Science Congress, and Society of Statistics, Computer and Applications. His primary research interest includes inflation and monetary policy, economic modeling, forecasting, including applied time series analysis, application of big data analytics, and AI/ML technique such as fuzzy logic, artificial neural network, etc. Derivatives and risk management, financial risk modeling like credit risk and ratings, value at risk, etc. Risk-based banking regulation, measurement of economics variables and parameters, etc. With a huge round of applause, may I now request the Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, MOSPI, to kindly address the gathering. Please, sir.
Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, Ministry of Planning and Minister of State, Minister of Corporate Affairs, Rao Inderjit Singh ji sir. Professor Rajiva Lakshman Karandikar, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, and honorable members of National Statistical Commission, other dignitaries on the dais, officers of the central government, Niti Aayog, state governments and governments of union territories, representatives of international organizations, Mr. Sambi Sharp, UN Resident Coordinator, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. On this August occasion of the 17th Statistics Day, I extend my warm greetings and welcome all of you to this event. As we all are aware, Statistics Day is celebrated to promote the use of statistics in our daily lives and to honor the remarkable contributions of late Professor P.C. Mahalanobis in the field of statistics. Today, on his birth anniversary, we pay our tribute to his pivotal role in shaping India's statistical landscape and its utility in policy and economic planning. Professor P.C. Mahalanobis was the architect of the statistical system of India, and he is credited with inter alia so many methodology and techniques in the analysis of data and statistical application, including the Mahalanobis distance and also statistical tool to measure distance. It is a tool to measure distance between 2 points in multidimensional space. He is also known for his contribution in instituting large-scale sample survey. He established institute like Indian Statistical Institute way back in 1931, which is an institute of national importance and leading in the areas of statistical education and related research area. Indian statistical system has evolved over years to remain relevant to the changing demand of policymakers, analysts, as well as general public. The major macroeconomic aggregates released by the ministry, namely gross domestic products, consumer price index, index of industrial production, etc., adheres to standards prescribed by the Special Data Dissemination Standard, or popularly known as SDDS, of the International Monetary Fund. Due to the resilience of the system, these standards, including timelines, have been adhered to even during the difficult time of COVID pandemic. In the area of surveys, the information from the sample surveys conducted by National Sample Survey Office of India, such as periodic labor force survey, annual survey of industries, and other socio-economic surveys, etc., are the most widely used for gauging the status of employment and other socio-economic parameters in the country. I am happy to note that MOSPI has made effort in recent years towards the transformation of survey ecosystem from paper-based mode to digital mode for reduction in cycle time and processing, and also finalization and release of the results. Now, the quarterly results of periodic labor force survey are being released within 2 months of the end of survey reference period, which is quite remarkable. I take this opportunity also to share with you a momentous achievement for India in the field of statistics at an international level. India has been elected as a member to the United National Statistical Commission for a 4-year term starting January next year. This remarkable accomplishment marks India's return to the UNSC after nearly 2 decades, reflecting the exceptional capabilities of the Indian statistical system and the professionals associated with entire Indian statistical systems. India has also been elected as one of the 3 vice chairs of the Bureau of Committee on Statistics of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific for consecutive term from 2022 to 2024. Further, India has also been elected to the Governing Council of the Statistical Institute for Asia and Pacific for again 2 years period 22 to 24. These achievements reflect the world's acknowledgement of India's contribution in the field of official statistics. This will also help us in our commitment for making available the data and framework for assessing the progress of sustainable development goals in the country while making our greater contribution in the setting the international statistical standard and frameworks. Theme for today's Statistics Day is alignment of state indicator framework with national indicator framework for monitoring sustainable development goals. MOSPI has taken a proactive step to facilitate and assist the state governments and union territories in the developing a state indicator framework. There is a global indicator framework. We already developed and successfully following up state and national indicator framework. Now we are promoting that work further in the creation of state indicator framework. The alignment of the state indicator framework with the national indicator framework will create a strong foundation for monitoring and tracking the progress of the sustainable development goals throughout our nation. I would also like to express my heartfelt congratulations to each and every participant of the on-the-spot essay writing competition as well as the winners of the competition. I extend my best wishes for their bright future. To conclude, the role of statistics in efficient governance can be well summarized in the oft-quoted view, what we cannot measure, we cannot manage. And to extend further, I also used to say that what we have, we cannot define conceptual clarity, we cannot measure it. So both are needed. We need to have clarification or clarity in our thoughts, and also we need to measure so that we can manage it. Statistics is needed right from identifying area of intervention, determining nature and quantum of intervention to assess impact of intervention. As we commemorate Statistics Day, let us draw inspiration from Professor Prashanth Chandra Mahalanobis' extraordinary contributions and reaffirm our commitment to robust data systems. Let us strive to create an ecosystem where data guides policymaker on the path of sustainable development, fostering an inclusive and prosperous future for all. Thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you once.
Thank you, sir, for the inspirational address. It revealed new insights and information to us. Your vision always provides the required thrust for the ministry to propel towards more and more progress. National Statistical Commission of India plays a vital role in shaping and advancing the statistical landscape of the country. By providing expert guidance, promoting best practices, and ensuring the quality and reliability of statistical data, the NSC contributes to evidence-based decision-making, policy formulation, which is necessary for socio-economic development of the country. Professor Rajiv Lakshman Karandikar, former head, Delhi Center of Indian Statistical Institute, is a renowned Indian mathematician, statistician, and cephalogist. He served as the director of Chennai Mathematical Institute from 2010 until 2021, and now he is Professor Emeritus at CMI as well as Chairman of National Statistical Commission MOSPI since December 2022. He is a Fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences and Indian National Science Academy. Professor Karandikar is widely known for his 3 decades of work on probability theory as well as applications of mathematics and statistics to real-world questions. He was also a member of the committee constituted by Election Commission of India to advise EC on the sampling scheme of EVM VVPAT verification. Professor Karandikar was awarded National Award in Statistics in honor of Professor C.R. Rao by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation and S.S. Bhatnagar Prize by the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in 1999. He is a recipient of P.C. Mahalanobis Gold Medal by Indian Science Congress Association in 2014. Sir has authored books on stochastic calculus, option pricing theory, and white noise theory of prediction, filtering, and smoothing. Sir, I take the privilege to invite you to share your words of wisdom on the occasion of 17th Statistics Day.
Dr. Rao Inderjit Singh, friends, dignitaries, and guests. The Professor Mahalanobis, some things have been said about him. Let me add a few more things which have not been said today at least. So he was of course a physicist by training. He was a faculty member at Presidency College, Calcutta, and during that period he went to England. I don't know as what, that part I don't know, but to study or whatever. That period had an intersection with the period Ramanujan was in England, and the two have met. There is evidence of that, and what is also said is that while he was traveling on a train in England, he came across a fellow passenger who was with him having the journal Biometrica, copies of the journal Biometrica, perhaps the only journal which had data-driven kind of analysis and so on. The word statistics was yet to be coined or yet to be popularized. And Mahalanobis read those articles and saw the immense impact these things are going to have, can have, and will have in time to come. So he came back to India, to his alma mater, Presidency College, Kolkata, as a faculty member, and there in the campus established what is now called Statistical Laboratory, which went on to become Indian Statistical Institute. That he had pleaded with the colleagues there, or the principal at the college, and he was given one small room below the staircase in Presidency College, it is still marked. On one hand, he created Indian Statistical Institute, went around the city, and various places the students who would come to Delhi, Calcutta to study mathematics, he would go and entice them to come and study this new theme, which is going to have a huge impact. And it is said that one of them was C.R. Rao, who had come to Calcutta to study for IAS, and Mahalanobis dragged him to statistics, and the rest is history. So, enough is said about Mahalanobis' research contributions. That and lot more is I can say, but instead of doing that, the formation of the institute and getting introduced to the Prime Minister Nehru, I don't know whether it was before 47 or after 47, but through Rabindranath Tagore, with whom Mahalanobis had a close connection, he was introduced to Nehru, and that is the beginning of the planning process in India. And formally he was involved, completely taken control of the second 5-year plan, but he had a role also in the first 5-year plan in starting the planning commission and whatnot. And at that time, the 40s, 50s, 60s even, things which we are today taking for granted, the role of statistics in this and that, he had to explain it to anyone and everyone. People will say, "What the mathematics say, what has it got to do with this, what has it got to do with that?" So he had, and this was not only in India, across the globe. Perhaps if we go back to 1931 when he formed ISI, the UK University College London had something which can be called Department of Statistics. It has a different name, and in US 2 or 3 universities. That's about it. ISI was the next one. So over the years they had to struggle to get people to understand what is statistics, what is its importance, what it can do. And it has now, of course, in last 20 years or 15 years, the word data science has become extremely popular, and you don't need to go and tell people what data can do for you. Okay? Now the question is how to do it, how to gather it. Briefly coming to today's theme, the alignment of the state and national indicators is an extremely important aspect. We are all playing on the same side, the states and the center, or be it the individual governments, be it the statistical system in a state and India national, and so on. We are all playing on the same side. We have to do things together. And the more interaction MOSPI has with the corresponding themes in each state, it is better for all of us. So yesterday, after seeing the theme carefully, I had seen it earlier but had not given much thought. I have come up with various things that are being done, and perhaps the frequency of doing those can be improved, and some things we can learn from states, and some things states can learn from us. We have to be on together and continue. So the key thing is, 20 years ago, while maybe the decision makers knew, but the rest of the country didn't know what statistics can do. Today, people know briefly, but what that means is that their expectations from statistical system have got more, and we have to live up to that and work hard towards doing that. So let me conclude, and best wishes to the MOSPI and to the afternoon, to the later program where we are going to get some technical papers on this theme. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable address and the insights given to us. I'm sure the audience here with us have sparked with your outworldly words. It is an honor for all of us to have you here. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. Professor Sangamitra Bandyopadhyay did her PhD in computer science from Indian Statistical Institute. She then joined ISI as a faculty member and became the director in 2015. Her research interests include computational biology, soft and evolutionary computation, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Professor Bandyopadhyay has worked in many institutes and universities worldwide. She is the recipient of several prestigious awards in the field of technology. In March 2022, she was conferred the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award of the Government of India. She could not join us here today, but she has been kind enough to share her message with us on this occasion. Now, I would read out the message sent by her. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Ministry of Planning, and Minister of State, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Rao Inderjeet Singh Ji, Chairman of the National Statistical Commission, Professor Rajiv Karandikar, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Dr. G.P. Samanta, all officials of MOSPI, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very happy Statistics Day to you all. I earnestly regret that I could not be with you all today in New Delhi to celebrate the 17th Statistics Day that has been held each year in the country since 2007 for commemorating the birth anniversary of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. Indian Statistical Institute, an organization founded by Professor Mahalanobis, has been celebrating this day for a very long time as ISI Workers' Day. This day holds a high emotional value for everyone associated with the institute. A visionary, an institution builder, and the founder of the Indian Statistical Institute, Professor Mahalanobis, laid the foundation of the Indian statistical system, the benefit of which we are reaping to this day. Professor was an epitome of interdisciplinarity, being a physicist by training and a statistician by instinct, who made profound contributions to the discipline while solving real-life data analysis problems, and a passionate planner and economist. Professor played a crucial role in creating a roadmap for the future development of post-independence India while it was still a young democracy struggling to find its footing. The United Nations has adopted 17 sustainable goals, all of which are aimed towards pursuing a developmental agenda in a way such that the following generations are also able to sustain themselves happily. Towards this goal, all have to join hands. Not a single country, a single state, or a single individual can afford to not participate in this effort. In that context, I believe the expertise available in ISI in statistical sciences provides yet another unique tool to India's leadership in G20 this year. I once again take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Statistics Day. I thank CSI and Secretary MOSPI for having given me this opportunity to send a message of this happy occasion. As we pay homage to the father of the Indian statistical system and the founder of the Indian Statistical Institute, we also commit to participate with full dedication in the development agenda for the country. Jai Hind. Now, I would request Ms. Monami Mitra to take you ahead for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika. We would like to express our gratitude to Professor Bandyopadhyay for sharing her message on the occasion of Statistics Day. In the words of Franklin D. Roosevelt, we cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. Nurturing young talents is of utmost importance as the youth is the hope of our future. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation organizes an all India level on-the-spot essay writing competition every year on the subject relevant to statistics or official statistics for the postgraduate students of statistics to commemorate the birth anniversary of eminent statistician Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. The aim of this competition is to infuse the importance of official statistics in the youth. Students from different recognized universities across the country participated in this competition. A total of 11 prize winners have been selected for the essay writing competition in 2023. The essays have been evaluated on the basis of the contents, originality of ideas, sequence of presentation, and writing skills. The prize winners are here with us today. The awards consist of a memento, a certificate, and cash prize. The award for first prize goes to Ms. Jyoti Pandey from Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. May I now request Honorable Minister Rao Inderjit Singh Ji to present Ms. Jyoti Pandey a certificate and a memento for her remarkable performance. A big round of applause for Ms. Jyoti. Thank you, sir, and congratulations, Jyoti. May I now invite Professor Rajiv Lakshman Karandikar, Chairman NSC, to give away the second prizes. There are two second prize winners, Shri Kumar Dipendra from Patna University. Miss Nandini Anil Bhosle from Nilkamal School of Mathematics. Congratulations, Dipendra and Nandini. Thank you, sir. For the third position, we have three winners. May I now request Dr. G.P. Samanta, CSI and Secretary MOSPI, to felicitate Miss Abhinaya from University of Mumbai. Shri Atar Singh from Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. And Shri Abhishek Bajpai from University of Allahabad, Prayagraj. Congratulations, Abhinaya, Atar, and Abhishek. A big round of applause for the young talents. Now to give away the consolation prizes, may I now invite Shri A.K. Biswas, Director General Coordination and Administration, and Shri Ghansham, Additional Director General, Intra, Inter, and International Coordination Unit, MOSPI. There are 5 consolation prize winners. Miss Nakshatra Ratnan from Pondicherry University. Ms. Harita Harish Nair from University of Mumbai. Shri Nakul Ji from Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, Kerala. Ms. Rituja Manoj Bhadre from Savitribai Phule University, Pune. And Ms. Rohini Namdev Gaurav from Pondicherry University. Let us all give a big round of applause for the winners of the on-the-spot essay writing competition. Thank you, sirs. Heartiest congratulations to this group of young talents for their remarkable performance. The ministry is really proud of you all and wishes you success in all your future endeavors. Thank you, sirs, for presenting the winners with their well-deserved awards. I would now request Ms. Deepika to take you ahead for the release of reports and publications of MOSPI.
Thank you, ma'am. Quoting the words of Jonathan Rosenberg, data is the sword of 21st century, those who wield it well, the samurai. The primary responsibility of MOSPI is to provide reliable and timely statistical data for formulation and implementation of policies for the development of the country. And when we talk about development, we must be informed that India is a signatory to the resolution adopted on transforming the world, the 2030 Agenda for the Sustainable Development at the 70th session of the United Nations General Assembly held on 25th September 2015. And there started our journey of developing National Indicator Framework with Baseline Report 2015-16 and the progress reports year after year thereon. Today, on the occasion of the Statistics Day, we have 3 releases lined up on Sustainable Development Goals. First release of today is the Sustainable Development Goals National Indicator Framework Progress Report 2023. The report highlights the progress made so far in the journey of SDGs achievement at national level. It contains time series data and metadata on national indicators based on the National Indicator Framework 2023. The report has been prepared by taking data and inputs from the line ministries and departments. This report is a valuable tool for the policymakers, planners, and other stakeholders and will help in measuring the progress of SDGs and associated targets till date. National Indicator Framework 2023 also highlights data gaps which need to be addressed for better monitoring of SDGs. Second release is the Data Snapshot on Sustainable Development Goals, National Indicator Framework 2023. This is a handbook containing time series data on SDG national indicators along with their data sources and periodicity. It will help the users to comprehend and analyze base and latest values of the indicators. The third and the final release for this year's Statistics Day is the Sustainable Development Goals National Indicator Framework 2023. The SDGs NIF 2023 is a handbook containing current national SDG indicators, data sources, and its periodicity. it is my great honor to request our Honorable Minister, Rao Inderjeet Singh Ji, to raise the curtain from the untiring efforts of the officers of MOSPI. Thank you, sir. It is indeed a moment of honor for all of us, and I am sure that the treasure in the form of numbers and statistics hidden in the report is going to have an immense contribution in the production of valuable research works and policy making. These documents would be available in the website of MOSPI, and the users can refer to them as and when required. A huge round of applause for the team of officers of Social Statistics Division, MOSPI, whose dedicated and relentless efforts have resulted in these informative publications. Now, I have the privilege to welcome Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge of MOSPI, Minister of State, Independent Charge of Ministry of Planning, and Minister of State in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Rao Inderjeet Singh Ji. Sir is the descendant of Rao Tularam, freedom fighter of India's first war of independence in 1857. He started his political career way back in 1977, and since then he has been minister, holding several significant portfolios in center as well as state. Along with his remarkable political career, Sir has been member of Indian shooting team from 1990 to 2003. National champion in skeet discipline for 3 consecutive years, secured 3 gold medals in South Asian Games. Sir was instrumental in promoting Paralympic sports in the country. In the year 2013, Honorable Minister got Paralympic Committee of India recognized by the Asian Paralympic Committee, followed by recognition from the International Paralympic Committee in June 2016. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has attained new heights under his able stewardship. He has always been there to encourage and guide us. With a huge round of applause, may I request Honorable Minister Rao Inderjeet Singh Ji to kindly address the gathering.
Professor Rajiv Lakshman Krandikar, Chairman National Statistics Commission, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, other dignitaries on the dais, officers of the central government, state governments, and government of the Union Territories, representatives of international organizations, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt wishes to all of you on this 17th Statistical Day. We all know that Statistics Day is celebrated in the memory of late Professor Manoharlal Nobis, and to honor his contribution in the field of official statistics in India. However, this day also provides us an opportunity to recognize the importance of statistics as evidence for informed policy making and the role played by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation in strengthening the statistical capability of India. The significance of quality and timely data for facilitating evidence-based decision making needs no emphasis. This is also valid for availability of data in the context of monitoring the progress of Sustainable Development Goals. MOSPI has created a national indicator framework that facilitates monitoring the progress of SDGs and their associated targets nationally. As the states, UTs, have a vital role in monitoring the progress towards SDGs and associated targets at the sub-national level, the theme of Statistics Day 23 has been selected as alignment of state indicator framework with national indicator framework for monitoring sustainable development goals. The SDGs are comprehensive goals to be achieved while considering various parameters of social, economic, and environmental dimensions of development for ensuring the balance of the 5 Ps, that is, people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. Monitoring the SDGs require regular assessment at various levels of administration. MOSPI plays a crucial role in providing this framework for tracking the progress of SDGs at the national level. It also provides technical support to the states and UTs in development of SDG monitoring framework at the sub-national level. In this direction, the Ministry has developed and circulated guidelines for the states and UTs in 2019 for development of state indicator framework, and these guidelines were further updated in 2022. I am happy to note that most of the states and UTs have developed their SIF in line with the NIF. Apart from playing a lead role in facilitating the monitoring of SDGs, MOSPI has also taken the initiative for improving the understanding of linkages between the environment and economy by bringing out environment accounts regularly. This contribution is of critical importance and can pave the way for realizing the agenda of sustainable development, as today it is crucial for every nation in the world to prioritize the safeguarding of the environment and the ecology. The widespread adoption of digital technologies has brought transparency and efficiency in the government functioning and has transformed the e-government landscape. I am pleased to highlight that the surveys conducted by MOSPI have undergone a significant transformation, transitioning from the traditional paper-assisted personal interviewing mode to the more efficient computer-assisted personal interviewing mode and web portal. MOSPI is also fulfilling its commitment of rendering technical and financial support to the Directorates of Economics and Statistics in the states and UTs in an unwavering manner. The sub-scheme has contributed in enhancing the efficiency of DESs by creation of physical and IT infrastructure and helping them in bringing out sub-national level indicators and undertaking capability building activities. The National Statistical Systems Training Academy, under the aegis of MOSPI, has made excellent efforts in the field of capacity building of personnel in official statistics. It is not only providing training for the officers of the Indian Statistical Services and subordinate statistical services, but also for the central ministries and states and UTs as per their demand. It also imparts training to delegates from other countries. I am happy to extend my compliments to all the young participants and winners of the On-the-Spot Essay Writing Competition 23. I wish them a brilliant and prosperous future. and eagerly anticipate their sustained interest in statistics, continued engagement with the statistical system of the country, enabling the enhanced relevance and use of statistics for overall development of the nation. I would like to conclude with the hope that MOSPI, in collaboration with all the stakeholders, will continue the commendable works towards facilitating data-driven policy making and also in taking lead in statistical research and development activities in other relevant areas. I am optimistic that today's event will result in greater awareness and enabling the center and state duties to come together in pursuit of SDG's motto of leaving no one behind. It will also contribute to the government's commitment to ensuring inclusive development and building trust amongst all, as captured by the motto Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas. I extend my best wishes, health and safety to one and all on this Statistics Day. Jai Hind.
We are deeply grateful to Honorable Minister for gracing the occasion and for an enlightening address. Sir, your presence today in this celebration has immensely enhanced its importance. The address was unique, as always, because of the novelty of ideas. Thank you, sir. Now, let me introduce an officer from 1992 batch of Indian Statistical Service who has been serving statistical system for about 30 years and has worked in different ministries and departments, which include Directorate of Data Management, Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance, Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, and Central Bureau of Health Intelligence, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Beside working in the domain of statistics, being a law graduate from University of Delhi, he contributed immensely while handling administration, vigilance, and legal matters during long tenure in Field Operations Division. Attributable to his deep concern about gender issues and keen interest in contributing towards gender equality, he acquired Master's degree in Gender and Development Studies. May I now request Shri Ghansham, Additional Director General, Inter and International Coordination Unit, MOSPI, to propose a vote of thanks before moving towards the technical session. Please.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and Ministry of Planning, and Minister of State, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Rao Inderjit Singh Ji, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Professor Rajiv Lakshman Krandikar Ji, Chief Statistician of India, Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Dr. G.P. Samanta Ji, Director General Sri Arun Kumar Bishwas and Sri Kal Singh, officers from central government and officers representing state and union territories, officers from Press Information Bureau, representatives of international organizations, winners of On the Spot Essay Competition 2023 and their families, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. On this auspicious occasion of the 17th Statistics Day, it is my privilege to propose a formal vote of thanks to all the esteemed dignitaries and participants for gracing the occasion. First and foremost, I wish to extend our sincere gratitude to you, sir, Honorable Minister of State Independent Charge, MOSPI, and Ministry of Planning and Minister of State, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, for sparing time
out of his very busy schedule for inaugurating this event and addressing the audience on this Statistics Day. Sir, your gracious presence on this auspicious occasion has boosted morale of all of us, and for which we thank you, sir, very much. Thank you, sir. I would also like to express our gratitude to Professor Rajiv Lakshman Krandikar ji, Chairperson, National Statistical Commission, for gracing the occasion and sharing his valuable insights with the participants. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary MOSPI. Sir, your guidance, leadership, and unwavering support have been instrumental in the successful organization and celebration of this momentous occasion. I extend sincere thanks to Professor Sangamitra Bandyopadhyay, Director ISI, for her best wishes and sending a message for this event. I also thank Sri A.K. Sadhu, former DG and member National Statistical Commission, for his gracious presence in this event. I would also like to extend my gratitude and sincere thanks to DG C&A, MOSPI, Sri Arun Biswas, for his continuous support and guidance extended for this endeavor. DG Statistics, MOSPI Sri Kal Singh, is also guided us for many things, for which I extend my sincere thanks to him. I also thank Sri Alok Sekhar, Additional Secretary MOSPI, for his gracious presence in this momentous occasion. I also thank Sri Yogesh Suri, Senior Advisor Niti, for being present in this function and gracing the occasion. My thanks are also due to Additional Director Generals Sri A. Nandakumar, Sri Satyendra Bahadur Singh, Ms. Anupam Bhatnagar, Ms. Geeta Singh Rathore, Sri P.R. Meshram, Sri Narendra Kumar Santoshi, Sri Subhash Chandra Malik, Ms. Usha Paul, for their presence in this momentous occasion. I also thank state government and union territories representatives, and particularly Sri Puneet Kumar, Additional Chief Secretary, Planning and Economic Affairs, Government of Kerala, for being with us. Thank you very much, sir, for being present on this occasion. I also thank to all the entire team of administration MOSPI for their contribution and support. I also thank Mr. Sombi Sharp, UN Resident Coordinator for India, and Sri Rajesh Gupta, Director Niti Aayog, for agreeing to our request to address the August gathering on this occasion, which will be held after a 5-minute break after conclusion of this session. We look forward to hearing your views, sir, during this forthcoming technical session. It is difficult to name each and everyone who contributed to this event, but I wish to extend my thanks to Sri Rohit Bhardwaj, DDG Computer Center, Sri D.P. Srivastava, SSPU, Dr. Asutosh Ojha, DDG Social Statistics Division, Sri Chandradeep Kumar Jha, DDG Inter and International Coordination, and their teams for extending their wholehearted support for making this event successful. I also thank the compeers for Ms. Monami Mitra, Director, PhD, and Ms. Deepika Verma for making a very lively presentation of the event. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the officers and all the officers from central government, different ministries who joined this occasion, all the participants from state and union territories, and all those who contributed to this event, whether through the participation or through whatever form they have participated and graced the occasion. I thank each and everyone for this event. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and humble words of appreciation. The inaugural session is now over. We will move ahead with the technical session after a 5-minute break.
Holly, check, Holly, check, Holly.
May I request all of you to please be seated. We are about to begin our technical session.
सर आएंगे ना तुमको बता देंगे।
May I request all of you to kindly settle down? We are about to start with the technical session of the day. May I request Dr. Yogesh Suri, Senior Advisor, Niti Aayog, Mr. Shombi Sharp, UN Resident Coordinator, India, Dr. Ashutosh Ojha, Deputy Director General, Social Statistics Division, MOSPI, and Mr. Rajesh Gupta, Director, Niti Aayog, to please come up on the dais. Thank you, sirs. Before proceeding with the technical session, I would request Ms. Priyanka Pant to present a sapling to Dr. Yogesh Suri, Senior Advisor, Niti Aayog. I would like to invite Soumya Mishra to present a sapling to Mr. Shombi Sharp, UN Resident Coordinator, India. Now I invite Dr. Ruchi Mishra to present a sapling to Dr. Ashutosh Ojha, Deputy Director General, MOSPI. Now may I request Ms. Neha Singh to present a sapling to Mr. Rajesh Gupta, Director, Niti Aayog. Thank you all. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation plays a vital role in ensuring the availability of accurate and reliable statistical data in India. It facilitates evidence-based decision-making, supports policy formulation and evaluation, and contributes to the country's socio-economic development. On each Statistics Day, one particular theme of current national importance is chosen for initiating further discussions towards filling the data gaps and improvement of timelines and quality in that area with the active engagement of stakeholders. The theme of this year's Statistics Day is Alignment of State Indicator Framework with National Indicator Framework for monitoring the Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainability refers to the ability to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It involves taking a holistic and long-term approach to environmental, social, and economic issues, aiming to find a balance between these three dimensions for the well-being of both current and future generations. Sustainable Development Goals are a set of 17 interconnected global goals established by the United Nations in 2015. These goals, also known as the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, aim to address the world's most pressing social, economic, and environmental challenges with the overarching objective of achieving a sustainable and equitable future for all. For monitoring of SDGs at global level, the United Nations has developed the Global Indicator Framework for SDGs. Government of India is committed to ensure Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas, which is aligned with the spirit of the Sustainable Development Goals motto of leaving no one behind. In this endeavor, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has developed a national indicator framework for Sustainable Development Goals in sync with the Global Indicator Framework for monitoring of SDGs at national level. At subnational level, the states and UTs have a vital role in monitoring the progress towards SDGs and associated targets. MOSPI and NITI Aayog are closely working with states and UTs for localization of SDGs and providing technical assistance in preparation of state indicator framework and district indicator frameworks for monitoring of SDGs at subnational level. To enlighten us on this year's theme, I would like to invite Dr. Ashutosh Ojha, Deputy Director General from Social Statistics Division, MOSPI. Dr. Ojha is 1998 Batch Officer of Indian Statistical Service. He did his PhD in Population Studies from International Institute of Population Sciences, Mumbai. Sir has worked in various ministries and departments of Government of India, including Office of the Registrar General, Unique Identification Authority of India, and National Sample Survey Office. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Monami ji. So, good afternoon and happy Statistics Day. As you know, the theme for Statistics Day is alignment of state indicator framework with national indicator framework for monitoring sustainable development goals. These are the 17 SDGs on your screen. These SDGs are the comprehensive list of global goals integrating social, economic, and environmental dimensions of development. These are not legal binding, but it became de facto international obligations. There are 169 targets associated with these 17 goals, and to monitor the progress of these 17 goals and 169 targets, there are 248 global indicators, out of which 231 are distinct. Just to apprise that through MOSPI, India has been playing a crucial role in development and refinement of the global indicator framework. Further, countries are expected to take ownership and establish a national framework to achieve SDGs. Moreover, the implementation and success will depend on countries' own sustainable development policies, plans, and programs. Now let us discuss the institutional arrangement at national level in India as far as SDGs are concerned. NITI Aayog is the nodal institution which is responsible for coordinating overall activities of SDGs at national level. They are working closely with states and UTs on localization of SDGs. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation was entrusted with the responsibility of development, review, and refinement of national indicator framework for SDGs to facilitate monitoring of SDGs at national level. And MOSPI is also responsible for release of progress report on SDGs based on latest NIF. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is providing all sort of technical assistance to states, UTs in development of their monitoring framework for SDGs. Sorry. Besides this, there are line ministries which are collaborating with Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation in development and review of their indicators and metadata. They are providing data to Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation for SDG indicators at agreed periodicity. And Ministry of External Affairs plays a supporting and coordinating role in international negotiations as far as SDGs are concerned. Now, coming to some of the initiatives of MOSPI with respect to SDGs. MOSPI has developed national indicator framework for SDGs to facilitate monitoring of SDGs at national level. And this NIF has been prepared in sync with global indicator framework and taking into account the national priorities and needs, and after a series of detailed discussion with all stakeholders. The NIF consists of list of national indicators with identified data sources and periodicities. MOSPI regularly reviews and refines the SDG NIF, and based on the latest NIF, the ministry releases annual progress report on SDGs with time series data, which is the basis for tracking the progress of SDGs in the country. These are some of the recent SDG releases of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. All these reports are available on the website of the ministry. This is the cover page of latest annual progress report, namely Sustainable Development Goal National Indicator Framework Progress Report 2023, and which is released today by our Honorable Minister. Besides overview and executive summary, this report consists of detailed data and metadata for 270 national indicators of the NIF for which data is available. And there is a provision to download time series data of these indicators in Excel file. I'm sure everyone is eagerly waiting for this report, which you may access from the website of ministry very soon. This is the goal-wise distribution of SDG national indicators, and one can see that there are 17 national indicators for SDG 1, then 19 for SDG 2, 39 for SDG 3, and 19 for SDG 4, and 29 for SDG 5, and so on. Out of these 284 indicators, the data is available for 270 indicators, which means for more than 95% of the indicator we are having data. And out of those 270 indicators for which we are having data, 80% of the indicators, it comes from administrative record, for about 19% from survey data, and rest from census data. In order to bridge data gaps, MOSPI has launched certain surveys and also aligned their existing surveys as per SDG data requirement. Further, MOSPI, Niti Aayog, and United Nations of India, they have jointly signed a tripartite memorandum of understanding on support for data indicators and statistics for monitoring SDGs in India. At subnational level, the states' UTs have a vital role in monitoring the progress towards SDGs and associated target. It is thus important for the states and UTs to develop their own state indicator frameworks based on their individual critical development priorities, data requirement, available infrastructure and resources. And MOSPI, as many of the speakers have told, that MOSPI is closely working with states and UTs and providing technical assistance in preparation of state indicator framework and sub-state level monitoring framework for monitoring SDGs at sub-national level. In this endeavor, Ministry has developed and circulated guidelines for development of state indicator framework in July in 2019 to help them in developing their indicator framework. And this guideline was updated in March 2022. The cover page of the report, in the form of report, the cover page of the report is on the screen. And this report inter alia includes the updated guideline.
As per information available with us, most of the states have developed their state indicator framework, and the others are in process of developing in doing so. But this is not the one-time exercise, because it is evolving in nature and requires its periodic review to make it in consonance with the national indicator framework. The guidelines circulated by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation provides step-by-step guidance on these aspects. As a way forward, it is to say that MOSPI will continue its effort to further align NIF with GIF, and MOSPI will continue providing its technical supports to states and UTs in development of sub-national level monitoring framework for SDGs to make it in consonance with the National Indicator Framework. And this is in line with this year's Statistics Day theme, which is alignment of State Indicator Framework with National Indicator Framework for monitoring sustainable development goals. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for investing the time and energy for such a remarkable presentation. It stimulated our minds and made us aware of the progress of our country towards achieving sustainable development goals. It has been rightly pointed out by James Madison that statistics are the eyes of the statements and the navigator. The ensuing data revolution not only holds the potential to promote and inform action towards the attainment of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, it also holds a great potential to marginalize, exclude, and misinform. Building trust in data, especially in the era of alternative truths, is typically linked with notions of ensuring transparency and visibility, data quality assurance, and mainstreaming data provenance. Moving ahead to give more insights on the theme of the day, we have amongst us a person with a very dynamic profile. He has devoted more than 25 years of his career in promoting inclusive and sustainable development internationally. Mr. Shombi Sharp is the UN Resident Coordinator for India since November 2021. He has brought his vast experience that he has acquired at the United Nations and externally to this position. He has most recently served as United Nations Resident Coordinator in Armenia after holding several leadership positions at the United Nations Development Programme. He is a published author of works in health economics and was a United States Agency for International Development Policy Champion, as well as a nominee for the UNDP Administrators Award. I would now request Mr. Shombi Sharp to kindly come upon and deliver his valuable insights on the theme of the day.
Thank you so much. Dear colleagues on the dais, Dr. Yogesh Suri, Dr. Oja, Sri Gupta, to the esteemed colleagues here in the audience who have already shared with us important points of view, Professor Karandikar, Dr. Samantha, Professor Roy, Dr. Bandyopadhyay, Sri Biswas. It's a great honor to be here on behalf of the United Nations family in India and as representative of the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres. And most of all, congratulations to the competition winners today, giving us all hope for a bright future indeed. Let me say namaskar, and to those who celebrate, happy Eid Mubarak on this day. And of course to everybody, aapko Sanki ki Divas ki Shubhkamnaएं. It's an honor to join for my second time here in India on International Statistics Day with MOSPI and with NITI Aayog and with other government and academic partners from academia as we celebrate the enduring legacy of Professor Mahalanobis and India's long-standing and proud tradition of leadership in data and statistics. There could be no better tribute to this legacy than the continuing work of MOSPI on providing timely, accurate, and practicable data in this ever-changing world and context. And let me express my very sincere pleasure at this year's theme, aligning state indicators, the alignment of state indicator frameworks with the national indicator framework for monitoring the SDGs. This cuts right to the heart of everything that we in the UN care about. And many years ago, if I could share my life at that point in time, back when I had dark hair, back when I was a student. I was a student of economics, a graduate student of economics, and I remember some of the, of course, statistics being very much a big part of that, and some of the jokes, the anecdotes, and things like that. It was said that if at first you don't succeed, keep trying so that at least your failure will be statistically significant. There's always a benefit. But also very importantly, very powerful is the quote that without data, you're just another person with an opinion, just another person with assumptions. So data is so vitally important to unlocking the riddles and the solutions of the universe. And I think that, I was really, it was an eye-opening experience, though I didn't continue on professionally as an economist, an eye-opening experience both to understand the power of curves and three-dimensional mathematics, to divulge the insights into the paths towards a better world, and also how incredibly difficult and challenging it is to derive those curves. I think we kind of take them for granted, but the derivation of those curves, the work of the statisticians in government and in academia cannot be overestimated in terms of how important that is. So I think this is a day to realize and to recognize statisticians as the unsung heroes of development and of policy making. Sometimes you'll hear people say, talking about, people are not just statistics. And of course, that's absolutely true. But without that data, we wouldn't have the life-enhancing services that make people's lives better. And now, more than ever before, in this changing world, this digitalized world, data truly is the new oil. And thankfully, it's a renewable source of energy. And today, I think, as was mentioned previously by Dr. Karandikar, today we don't have to tell people, we don't have to convince people about the power of data. In fact, even best-selling books on the topic of behavioral science are found in the living rooms of every layperson. But as we approach the midpoint of the Sustainable Development Goals, we're halfway to 2030, we are facing a polycrisis in which data is critical, because the ability of countries to cope with challenges has been pushed back. We've seen for the very first time not only a lack of progress, but we're falling backwards in many of the global targets. Only about 12% of these targets that have been mentioned here already are actually on track, and close to half are moderately or severely off track. And some 30%, almost a third, have either seen no movement or regressed below the 2015 baselines. Under these current trends, almost 600 million people will still be living in extreme poverty when we get to 2030. The world is experiencing levels of hunger that we've not seen in almost 20 years. And the window of opportunity to limit global temperature rises to 1.5 degrees Celsius, keeping 1.5 alive, is rapidly closing. So as the UN Secretary General said while in Mumbai at the end of last year, the SDGs are now in need of urgent rescue. The SDGs remain our best vision and metric, a data-driven roadmap to get to the world that we want for ourselves and for our future generations. Good data and evidence are needed more than ever for policymakers to chart the course forward in these choppy waters. And yet, at this moment in time, some of the poorest countries where the SDGs are most needed and most affected are also the ones that lack the resources and capacities to respond to the need for data. Some 40% of national statistical offices actually have seen a drop in funding and resources during the pandemic. So within this context, I would very much like to commend and appreciate MOSPI on the truly impressive work in instituting such a robust SDG progress monitoring framework in the country, the National Indicator Framework, which is the foundation of every other SDG monitoring framework in India, all the way down to the state and the district levels. I have to say, when I first arrived in India about a year and a half ago, I was so impressed. I had never seen a country that has embraced the SDGs to such a degree as an organizing framework. It's also very impressive, MOSPI's commitment to supporting the states and union territories in developing their own state indicator frameworks, which push the boundaries of SDG localization and are an invaluable tool to identify both areas of progress and areas of underperformance, and align so well with other government initiatives such as the aspirational districts and aspirational blocks programs. So I think I would like to also appreciate MOSPI's partnership on the Data for Development Coordination Forum, and together with the UN in India and NITI Aayog as well. Appreciate the new MOU that was just signed and aligns very well with our brand new Government of India, United Nations in India Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework that we've just signed together with NITI Aayog, setting the course of our partnership for the next 5 years. And to note that also there's a new innovation in that, which is support and partnership on South-South cooperation across the pillars, in line with India's emergence as a global development solutions provider. And if the Global South has access to the kind of timely, high-quality, disaggregated data that India produces, it could be a multiplier for achievement of the SDGs in those countries as well. And the timing couldn't be better as India takes forward the G20 presidency, so aligned with the SDGs that in fact I liked to call it an SDG 20 presidency. And the timing could not be more important because the SDG presidency or the G20 presidency of India, the summit will conclude on the 9th and 10th of September, which literally handshakes a matter of days, 8 days later to the global SDG summit in New York, where the world comes together for stock taking. And I would also like to appreciate and congratulate India on joining, on being voted into the UN Statistical Commission for another 4 years from January. As was mentioned, this is a great achievement and great recognition. So, dear friends, to conclude, let me just reiterate that SDG localization is more than just adapting global goals. It's about providing ownership and empowering communities to take charge of their own futures, building local solutions. And as I like to say, I think many of us grew up with the slogan, think globally, act locally. But the importance of India, because of the scale of what is happening here, is that when you act locally, you are delivering globally. And as the UN Secretary General said also in Mumbai, India is the country that can make the global SDGs a reality by 2030. So this discussion has never been more important to have and exactly here in India. Thank you very much. Bahut bahut dhanyavad.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and valuable insights. It is surely going to help us in our future assignments. Now, I would like to invite an officer with a diverse experience of over 28 years, ranging from planning and development, food security, consumer affairs, fertilizers and chemicals, macroeconomic research, to empowering small and medium enterprises, banking, financial markets, risk management, etc. Dr. Yogesh Suri is a developmental economist and a policy analyst. He is currently Senior Advisor, Niti Aayog, wherein he is in charge of governance, research, state finance, and coordination verticals. He is holding additional charge as Director General of National Institute of Labor Economics, Research and Development. An alumnus of Department of Business Economics and Hindu College, University of Delhi, Dr. Suri holds a PhD from University of Rajasthan. Without any further delay, may I now request Dr. Suri to enlighten us with his intellectual and inspiring words.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samant, Secretary MOSPI, Professor Rajiv from National Statistical Commission, Dr. Biswas, my colleague from Niti Aayog, Rajesh, Mr. Shombi Shak, Ashutosh Ojha. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here today, especially on the National Statistics Day. PC Mahalanobis, he was the founder member of Planning Commission since, and I'm the original I joined Planning Commission way back in 2010, and when the Niti was issued in 2015, so I moved from Planning Commission to Niti Aayog. So he was also he coined this second 5-year plan. Much has been said about Mr. Mahalanobis. I will not go that into details. And so Mr. Shombi has clearly pointed out that the world has moved a little behind in terms of achievement against SDG, especially because of COVID. And he has mentioned what the UN Secretary has said, and I would like to also add what Honorable Prime Minister has said and the United Nations General Assembly, that India reforms, the world transforms. So I think much depends on India, how kind of initiatives we take. Only then I think world will be able to achieve sustainable development goals, I think. And both MOSPI and Niti Aayog, as well as the state government, central ministries who are implementing all the schemes, we have to play a very, very important role in this regard. While world has moved a little behind in achievement of SDGs, but I can proudly say that with the initiatives taken by India, the recent report of the Global Sustainability Solutions Network released only last week indicated that India has jumped 9 places in terms of ranking, in terms of global ranking amongst 166 countries. I think the first time in the last few years India has jumped 9 rankings. In fact, the achievement could have been better. When I detailed and did some analysis of that, I was told that there were many indicators where India's performance is better. But the thing is, they do not accept the Indian system data just by going by administrative data, unless it is endorsed by some of the international agency as well. So I will request Mr. Shombi Sharp to also keep in mind. So whatever data we report, I think some of the international agencies also take that into account, and while reporting for all such global ranking, not only for SDG ranking, but all other 39 global indices which Niti has been monitoring, I think there we can do some joint work. I think we have been working very closely with MOSPI. I thank Mr. Ojha, and I look forward to much more contribution and much more collaboration with Ministry of Statistics. I have only recently taken over in the SDG vertical, so it's a new area for me, but it's a very, very exciting area, and I look forward to working very closely with MOSPI and try to ensure that much more can be done in achieving SDGs. In fact, Niti has been working very closely with the state governments. My colleague Mr. Regimon is here, who also heads of the state support mission in Niti Aayog. We have about 237 crore allotted for helping the state governments over the next 3 years. And one of the components of assisting the state governments is to develop their capacities in various areas, including sustainable development goals. Niti is working on a few reports. I think we have been working very closely with MOSPI. multidimensional poverty index report. We are hoping to bring it out very shortly. Next will be Sustainable Development India Index report. Northeastern Index report is also ready. That's a district-wise indicator. I think that should be released very shortly. And then next year we are hoping to come out with the voluntary national review in the United Nations. This year we could not do it for several reasons. We have done it twice earlier. And a lot of developing countries, they look forward to first India presenting their voluntary national review in the high-level political forum, and then those countries follow suit. So we are hoping to do it in 2024. I would look forward to help from both the UN agencies as well as MOSPI in preparing a very good document which actually indicates how much progress which India has been making. And as Shombi has indicated that we recently signed this United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework, which essentially outlines what the 26 UN entities would be doing in India for the next 5 years. I think this event had went off very well, and this document has also come out very well. We are hoping to start acting upon it, and I think there will be outcome standing groups which will be chaired by different secretaries of Government of India, and this will be first time this whole of government taking into account both central ministries as well as the state governments and whole of UN approach, and perhaps whole of society approach in implementing this framework. With these words, I will not take much of your time. I will request my colleague Rajesh to make a quick presentation, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here today.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge. Our next speaker is an Indian Railway Service of Electrical Engineers Officer of 2001 batch. Shri Rajesh Gupta is Director in SDG Vertical in Niti Aayog. He has also served in Urbanization and Skill, Labor and Employments Vertical in Niti Aayog. Sir has a vast experience of working in power and transportation sector. He holds a degree of MBA Finance and Electrical Engineering and is a well-published researcher. Please, sir.
Highly esteemed dignitaries on the front row, eminent personalities on the dais, and distinguished dignitaries in the house. It's about 12:30, and let me assure you that there are not more than 10 slides between you and your lunch. I hope they come up with the slides. Okay, so let me begin with this picture, which always gives me goosebumps. On the left, we have the person whom we are honoring today, Professor Mahalanobis, in between the renowned physicist S.N. Bose. And any guess who is on the right? Anybody in the house? Yeah, so Ronald Fisher. There won't be an economist, a social scientist, a statistician who wouldn't have known him. The term null hypothesis attributes to him. F is statistics, ANOVA, and the list is even longer. So for a statistician, for a social scientist, this moment is no less than, let's say, Sachin Tendulkar meeting Don Bradman, or Mahatma Gandhi meeting Albert Einstein, right? Something like that. So, but one thing that I'll request if somebody could help me, where exactly and when exactly was this photograph taken? I could not locate in the archives. Somebody says Ronald Fisher came to India twice, 1931, 1938. Some people hinted that this is a picture taken in Lahore, 1938, but I would be really grateful if somebody could actually confirm that. So, in this presentation, I'll be talking about SDG indicators, a bit how localization plays a role, the challenges we have, NIF, GIF, the kind of interlinkage they have. I'll try to briefly discuss a case of Odisha that we tried to analyze partly, and we'll try to see the way forward, what lies ahead in the journey of SDGs for us. On the right, probably the font is too small. It's Professor Mahalanobis' paper in American Statistician, 1965. Probably you can't read it, but let me read it out. It is not difficult to see what's wrong with official statistics in India. He says this in 1965. There is a gap between theory and practice. There is a gap between the means and the end of the absence of any clearly perceived purpose. There is a lack of appreciation of the need of cross-examining the data, which is the first responsibility of an statistician. He continues to say, the validity of data is not questioned. Anything which is supplied or published by the government office is accepted as reliable. Imagine the stature of the person saying this in 1965. Coming to the indicator framework, UN IAEG office formulates the GIFs, and there are different versions of it. In India, we have MOSPI's high-level committee, a very arduous exercise supported by a high-level technical committee also. And then the recent offshoot is state indicator frameworks or local indicator frameworks that various states are coming up with. There are certain stylized facts about it, precisely 3 of them, that this is still an evolving process. We are not done yet. We keep refining every time we get some new insight. Localization is speeding up. So far, we have knowledge that about 16 states have come up with their own LIF. Some states have gone further to come up with their district indicator frameworks also. And third one, due to various reasons, we can debate and discuss, the dependency on outside agencies is increasing. These are 3 stylized facts about the indicator paradigm in India. Coming to the transition, so imagine we are at present at point A, the status quo of development in India. We want to reach point B, the sustainably developed nation. Now this will be achieved in certain time, probably with just GIF as a tool. We may achieve it in say 50 years, 70 years, can't say. With NIF, probably that time reduces to half, but the major disruption comes with the local indicator frameworks, because that's where the action takes place. That's where the connect between the reality and the indicator paradigm happens, and that's what this talk about indicators is all about. There are various frameworks. People know it better than me here, the DPSIR, etc. But I'll just invoke theory of change here as a transition enabler. The first and foremost is the R, the resources which are required. Second comes the capacity pi, and third the monitoring mechanism in form of local indicator frameworks or state indicator frameworks, whatever we call it. So the aim here is to reduce this delta T, the time in which we travel from point A to point B. As I said, that if we do nothing, or let us call it a business as usual scenario, the time will at least be alpha j for for j states or j districts, whatever you want to call it, if we do nothing. With certain resources, it gets reduced by beta 1. With certain capacities built up, it gets further reduced by beta 2. And with the local indicator framework, the most important thing out here, it further gets reduced by beta 3, which is more than beta k, which is nothing but our NIF and GIFs. So this is the critical assumption here, that beta k is less than beta 3, and that's why the role of localization comes into picture. That's why the states need to be better empowered. So this transition time will be impacted by allocation R, by efficacy of the people involved in the process, that is the capacity pi, and the mechanism, the robustness of the mechanism of local indicator frameworks. Disruption potential is immense. We have the delta T reduction. That's what the acceleration is all about. It unleashes the potential of villages precisely. because that's where 60% of India lives. It encourages competition. It has many second order effects also, the kind of data architecture that is being built in panchayat level, at district level, state level is immense. That's going to be a game changer in the times to come. It creates synergy between various sectors of the economy. It also co-creates public service delivery. So it's got immense second order benefits. Now, with all its, hello, the SDG framework is not bereft of certain challenges. First one, we can say that it tends to make us prefer existing data frameworks rather than going for new ones, or rather than going for investing into new ones. Second is the large number of indicators. This is a common complaint in literature that, indicators are too many, and then it's associated cost of monitoring as evaluation is too high. Third is, we can think of what happened to MDGs, right? So we had 15 years, 2000 to 2015, there were just 60 indicators to deal with. We couldn't deal with them. Honestly, let us accept that. And now we have 200 plus n number of indicators, and we have just 8 years left in 2030, not even 8. So, as Van Buren pointed out, there are too many indicators, too broad indicators, too unstructured. We need to kind of have a look at this aspect also. I try to look for, okay, there's a typo here. It's not indicators, it's not deliberate, right? It's indicators only. So I'll just pointing to the politically sensitive indicators, right? So that's it. And then there is a Goodhart law, right? Many of you are aware with that when measure becomes the target, it ceases to be a good measure, right? So it's like you ask that we are going to rank you on the basis of your marks in mathematics. So everybody prepares mathematics, forget physics, right? So that kind of things is it happening? More research and more review needs to take place. Second, I try to probe if there is a complaint that the indicators are still less. Yes, there are scholars pointing to that. Why so? Because the 169 targets that 17 goals have mapped into, many of these targets are multidisciplinary. They require so many sectors of the economy and society to work together if they are to be achieved. Because of that, somebody recently pointed out, McFeely, that the indicators are less. There has to be 600 indicators at least. So it's still not a settled debate that whether 200 is a good number, 300. But yes, in India at least we can start discussing if there is a need of rationalizing. But still going number wise, the democracy says, among scholars, they are in favor of reducing the indicators. Then comes the data quality, the Campbell law, which suggests that, with increasing importance being given to indicators, people start feeling the pressure to manipulate them. It is something related to what we know as McNamara fallacy. So McNamara used to be the defense secretary in 1960s. He developed a model to say that US is winning the Vietnam War, and his model was very simple, that if there are more fatalities and more strikes by the US Army compared to the Vietnamese, then we are winning the war. And he said that we'll predict it this way, that when the war is going to end. At the end, it turned out that people started exaggerating the numbers, number of fatalities and number of bombings also, and the war took 5 years longer than what McNamara kind of predicted. So is it happening in our case also? In the case of indicator paradigm, probably we need to look into it. We try to look into the way SIFs are progressing. Odisha is a leading state. They come up with the second edition of the state indicator frameworks. I don't know whether the font is very visible to you or not, but we try to gauge the average age of underlying data this indicator is taking into account. And we compared it with the NIF. The good thing about NIF is that there are no non-periodic indicators. They're all periodic, maybe frequency, maybe 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, whatever. But in case of Odisha, we could locate as much as 7 or 8 non-periodic indicators. We will be in touch with them to see what could be the way to sort that out. Then average vintage age, or you can say the average age of indicator that we try to find out. It just back of the envelope calculation, it turns out that it is less than NIF, which is a good thing. So probably we need to now look at NIF also, that if we can reduce that average age also. Secondly, when it comes to how many targets these indicators are able to map, we did a comparative analysis of NIF and Odisha's SIF. They are more or less in sync, which indicates that states feel the same constraint as the center does. Probably a better investment or something, some intervention had to be thought for states to be at least little bit more capable of generating data which could map into the indicators. Lastly, I'll just say that local indicator frameworks should pull up the national indicator frameworks. It should not be the other way around, and that would ultimately should be guiding the global indicator frameworks, because that's how the paradigm should work, and probably that's in that direction only most of us are thinking and working. 3 investments, 4 priorities and 2 opportunities is my last point of discussion today. First is that we need to invest immensely more in training towards indicator framework, capacity building. We need to probably increase the frequency of many indicators. Many data which we feed into the indicators at present are 3 years old and 5 years old, something like that. We need to do that. We need to institutionalize so that this dependency on outside agencies kind of be taken care of. We should be prioritizing the quality audit. I request Secretary Sir is here, that entire 2 days workshop, if MOSPI can hold, on honestly reviewing the quality of data that feeds into the, so far tremendous effort has gone into selecting, finding, identifying, mapping indicators. Probably we can now take a fresh look at the quality of the data that maps into the indicators, so that at least and one thing that we can do probably, that we can if we can declare that this is a vintage of the data, we won't go beyond it. So say if we want to release SDG India 2024, we won't take data before 2021. Something like that, if that could come up, it would be great help, because it is what because the concurrency of the indicators and the underlying data is very important. If I say that in 2023 that my composite index is based upon some data which is coming from 2015, probably it's not really great thing we are doing. Then data over dashboards, humble requests, dashboards are great, but let researchers have some CSV and Excel files downloaded, because we need time series. We don't need snapshots as much as the time series. Then uncluttering, lot of glossy pages, colors, good, it attracts, but let's not forget that it adds clutter also. Lastly, there are certain new opportunities, the way we can explore how we can increase the frequency of the underlying data. GIS is with us. For example, say there's an indicator 15.3.1, which kind of looks into the target called land degradation neutrality. So what is it? It is just desertification mapping. So with GIS, you can do it on daily basis, right? Why? I mean, if not daily basis, I mean, those who have worked with the raster data files, probably at least 6 monthly we can do that exercise. Why wait for certain survey or other data to feed into that indicator? Similarly, a multidisciplinary, since most of the indicators, most of the SDG targets are multidisciplinary, probably a multidisciplinary research, more focus into it is going to do the trick. That's all. I hope I haven't bored you through all these slides. If not food for lunch, probably they'll provide some appetite for food for thought. Thank you so much. Thank you. But before I take the chair again, let me just inform you that the 9-point jump that we have seen this year in SDSN Global India Ranking, a lot of it is because of the immense effort taken by Dr. Suri. Timely, he approached SDSN. We had given up that, sir, they are not responding back. He somehow managed it through Ministry of External Affairs, and that's how we are here. More requires to be done, but let's acknowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for presenting the nitty-gritties of SDG indicator framework. May I now invite Sri C.K. Jha, Deputy Director General, Inter, and International Coordination Unit, MOSPI, without whose persevering efforts this Statistics Day would not have been a success, to propose a vote of thanks. He is 2000 batch officer of Indian Statistical Service. Sir did his post-graduation in statistics from University of Delhi. He has vast experience of working at Department of Promotion and Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India, Data Processing Center of NSS at Giridih. Apart from his domain experience in official statistics and international cooperation, Sir is an avid reader and has keen interest in Indian mythology. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Monami. Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Professor Rajiv Lakshman Karindikar, CSI and Secretary MOSPI, Dr. G.P. Samanta, officers of central and state governments, representatives of international organizations, winners of on-the-spot essay competition, and their family members, speakers and other dignitaries, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of the 17th Statistics Day, I am privileged to propose a formal vote of thanks for the insightful technical discussion in this session on the theme of the Statistics Day. On the behalf of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, I wish to extend sincere gratitude and thanks to the Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, MOSPI, Ministry of Planning, and Ministry of State, Ministry of Corporate Affairs for gracing the occasion and giving valuable insights. Let me thank Dr. G.P. Samanta, CSI and Secretary MOSPI for his support and guidance for successfully organizing this historic Day of Indian Statistical System. The talks and presentations, including technical inputs and the comparisons of GIF with NIF and the views of global authors on the subject have been enlightening, informative, and useful for statistical intelligence on the progress of NIF and its alignment with the state indicator framework. It will go a long way in facilitating better availability of data for assessing the attainment of SDGs at the national and subnational level and further sub-aggregated levels. For this, I would like to thank Mr. Sombi Sar, UN Resident Coordinator, India, Dr. Yogesh Suri, Senior Advisor, Niti Aayog, Dr. Ashutosh Ojha, DDG MOSPI, and Sri Rajesh Gupta, Director Niti Aayog, for their valuable address and insights. Let me also re-congratulate all the winners of on-the-spot essay competitions conducted by the Ministry. I would take this moment to thank the officials of Scope Convention Center, Lodi Road, the teams of event management and catering services for their logistic support. I would also like to thank the Press Information Bureau team of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, representatives of media for a wider coverage of the event. I would also like to thank the social media team of the Ministry for live cast of the event on the social media handles of the Ministry. I am also delighted to thank the officers and staff of all divisions of MOSPI, especially Social Statistics Division, Training Unit, NSSTA Administration Division for their efforts and contributions in the event. I once again thank all the speakers, eminent dignitaries, and participants who have spared their precious time to join in the event of celebration. It would be worthy to mention that a true tribute to Professor Mahalanobis would be to follow in his footprints through continuous learning and innovation. It would be in line with the established principles of follow-up actions for self-benchmarking as rightly enunciated in the Sloka 21, chapter 3 on Karma Yoga, Bhagavad Gita, which reads as, Jat Jat Acharti Sreshta Tat Eva Itaro Jana Sahajat Pramanam Kurte Loka Tad Anuvartate. It reads as, or translates as, that whatever action is performed by great men and whatever we do for the setting of benchmarks, the common man follow in his footprints, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words of appreciation. With the advent of cutting-edge technologies in the big data, AI, ML space, collecting, aggregating, and drawing meaningful insights from data are of utmost importance, and statistics has a major role to play in driving this. With this in mind, let us all come together to explore newer and wider dimensions of statistics that will help to address all the facets of data-driven technologies, sustainability, and further enhancing its utility in the policy paradigm. We have now reached the concluding session of today's program. On behalf of the entire statistical fraternity, wishing all of you a very happy Statistics Day. We are really thankful to our friends, colleagues, national and international guests who have taken out their valuable time and joined us in the celebrations. Your participation has made this a grand success. May I request all of you to join us for lunch at the adjoining banquet hall. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. So we have one photo session with the on-the-spot essay writing prize winners. So for that, I would request Professor Rajiv Lakshman Karandikar, Chairman NSE. Okay. So Dr. G.P. Samanta, Secretary, MOSPI and Chief Statistician of India. Shri A.K. Sadhu, Member National Statistical Commission. Shri A.K. Biswas, Director General Coordination and Administration. Shri Kal Singh, Director General Statistics. Ms. Anupam Bhatnagar, ADG Training. Shri Ghansham, ADG Inter and International Coordination Unit. And all the prize winners. I would request all of you to please come up on the stage for the photo session. Chairman NSC would be joining us in a minute.